everybody, and welcome back to Is It Kino, subsection, the People's Choice Poll. That's right, the last remaining PCP podcast on the internet. I am Simian Jimmy, joined as always by Florian Himzel.
Hey, you always talk about The Hobbit, you know, I just felt like you wanted to review it again, so here we are, everyone.
Oh, thank goodness. We're also joined by the Weekend Warrior.
How y'all doing, guys? I am definitely on time and definitely was not late for this podcast.
And because he loves Tolkien's universe and anything with Lord of the Rings or Hobbits, you know, he's itching to talk about it. Joining us today on the PCP podcast for the first and last time, Rich McCoy.
Yeah, I love this movie so much, and when you guys said you were doing it, I just had to be part of it, so here I am. It's E-Rich.
Now, E-Rich, this is the People's Choice Poll, which means we all pick a movie and then the audience votes for what we should review, and for some reason, even though this film, The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, got second place in the vote, for some reason we have to review it anyway.
That sounds not right. Usually the first place wins, and the second place does not get anything.
The vote was really fine. It had to be this way.
Mm-hmm. We have some unfinished business with the Weekend Warrior. As we all know, Weekend Warrior forced us all to watch Skinamarink because he cheated the poll. And the Punishment Council decided that he would have to write a book report about the Human Centipede trilogy. Is that ready today, Weekend?
No, it's just I thought it was just the third movie.
Well, that's fine.
I remember it was just the third sequence.
I'm probably misremembering.
Yeah, it was just the third.
The third movie. Okay, I can do it now.
It's just funny to imagine that he just did the wrong thing, you know?
Yeah.
He has to get punished again.
I'm gonna rewatch that shit. Oh no.
So did you have ChatGPT write this, or is this something you actually worked on?
No, actually, guys, the third movie in this trilogy is apparently very good. It's actually very funny, but there are parts of it that were fucking disgusting.
Yeah. What do you mean apparently?
No,
is that your opinion or is it someone else's?
No, I mean, it's like you think it would be shit, but it turns out the third movie is very meta.
Well, like the first one was good.
It starts off with the warden of the prison watching the second movie and calling it a terrible piece of shit, basically. Yeah, and then, but the guy who suggested him had a plan. See, the long and short of it is that in order to correct these prisoners and respect the warden, whose name is Boss, to do that, you have to get all the prisoners and subject them to the human centipede treatment, and it works basically at the end. But he's still crazy, and they're all crazy at the end.
What do you mean it works? Are they cured? Are they taken apart again?
No, because it's temporary. That's the idea behind it. Because for the inciting incident of the movie is that his boss, I think it's the governor of the state, visited him, and the jail is run very poorly, and he's criticizing the guy. So what do? Do we castrate these people so that they behave? No, you subject them to the human centipede treatment, and they behave. And supposedly, but no, that's the cover up. But really, the guy's just a sadistic fuck. Essentially, he's just a sadistic fuck. And you want to feel sorry for him because he's kind of pathetic, but he's as bad as the prisoners are. There are very disgusting scenes here, but I was laughing also. So I don't know. This might be my sallow. So
oh wow, E-Rich, if you were a prisoner and the warden wanted to reform you, what would be more successful? If you were human centipeded, or if the warden forced you to watch Hobbit Battle of Five Armies Extended Edition for 24 hours straight?
I've now seen this movie 3 times, possibly, and I would much rather be human centipeded than watch this wreck over and over again.
I'm just so curious. What happens to the pea? Is the pea also put down the other guy's throat? And if not, do they just slowly not have enough water? If the first guy can't eat enough to feed all the people, right? How does it work?
I mean, I don't think it's a long-term thing, Florian. I think somebody's gonna die in there.
You don't think the human centipede lives a long, healthy life?
But
They even have a human.
reformed.
These guys are so sadistic. They even had a human caterpillar where they just cut the limbs off the guys, and they're just there forever until they die. Yeah.
Wow,
Now,
that's
Florian-
amazing. Now I gotta see this.
Florian, as my co-councilman on the punishment council here, are we satisfied with this quality of book report? Because this seems more like a summary of events. Like, what are we expecting out of this?
Him. I think he's got more to say, right?
I mean, do you have anything about the themes? Do you have anything about like what the movie means overall?
Do you have a thesis statement that you would like to prove to us?
Yeah.
What's your
The thesis
review of
statement
this?
is that the human centipede is disgusting, and it's.
I'm gonna need to see some evidence behind that claim.
Oh my god!
Do you have any sources you can cite at all in APA format?
I think this review needs a lot more work. You know, you can't you can't just say your conclusion. You gotta show us your work.
Oh my fucking god! This is like my thesis defense all over again. Jesus Christ.
Monkey, do you think MLA or APA? Which
Oh,
do you think
shut the fuck! Oh my god!
I mean, I was raised on MLA, and then they, like, 11th grade, they try to teach us APA to get us ready for college. Honestly, I'm good with either one.
Okay.
We're pretty loose on this weekend, so as long as your sources are cited correctly in MLA or APA format, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for the thesis defense panel. I will resubmit my thesis at an appropriate time. Please give me some more time.
Honestly, as long as we're talking about anything other than the Hobbit movie, I'm happy.
Well, okay. My review of it is very funny, actually. So I actually recommend people watch the third movie.
But that's just the conclusion of the review. What's the actual
I'm just saying. No, I just said I'll submit the book report at some later date. But my review of it is for the audience. They can watch this, and it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Would you say you can dive into Human Centipede 3 and skip the first two?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you can.
You said there's a meta element. Would you say that someone who's never heard of Human Centipede before could go into the third one, or do you need to like know what the Human Centipede is in order to get enjoyment?
I think you have to know it, like at least the basic concept of it, because the director makes an appearance because they want him as a consultant to see if the Human Centipede project is feasible in real life. That's something they do here. So
does the same guy direct all three movies?
Yeah.
So he puts himself as a character playing the director of Human Centipede in the third movie. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But does he become the Human Centipede?
I know he doesn't.
It's like when Tarantino puts himself in a movie so he can say the N-word. He's just playing himself.
Dead N-word storage.
That's
classic moment.
Hey, you can say it, Weekend. For all we know, you're black. We've never seen you before. But let's dive into The Hobbit so I can, once we do this podcast, I never have to talk about any Hobbit-related shit again unless somehow Florian gets it back on the poll and somehow it gets second place and somehow Florian convinces Weekend to make us watch it. Florian, I was fuming with rage earlier because I checked Letterboxd and somebody named Florian Squid gave this film a 5-star review. Would you like to defend that stance?
Well, I mean, it's just one of my favorite movies. It's too bad you guys don't like it, but to me, it's every bit as good as Lord of the Rings,
Wow! I'm not even like a Lord of the Rings fanboy, but even I'm a little offended by that.
Does anybody hear like a loud buzzing sound?
I don't.
Oh, wait.
The second that Florian said that, I just heard a loud
you're
buzzing sound in my brain.
You're just like tuning him out now. You're having like a stroke.
Every time he says anything, the buzz just starts again.
Well, it looks like your audio settings are scrambled up.
I think your brain settings are scrambled up. E-Rich, tell Florian why you agree that this is a 5-star film.
Florian, this is probably one of the worst,
big budget blockbuster movies. It's so clear from this movie. So this movie starts, and they kill Smaug within the first 10 minutes. 7 minutes, I believe, is what happens. This should have been the climax of the last movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why are 7 minutes of a movie that are perfectly used in the previous movie just shoved into the beginning of this one? Can you explain why that's good in any way?
Well, I can explain why it's not bad, because it doesn't fucking
No,
matter.
that's not what I asked you. Explain why it's good. You said this is one of your favorite movies. You have to tell me why that's a good decision.
I mean, the decision is clearly because he made everything more complex. So it would have made sense that Smaug would be in it a lot more, but then he just pulls the rug out of under you, you know, and kills him off.
But don't you think the film called The Desolation of Smaug should have ended with the conclusion to Smaug's character? Like, why chop off the last 7 minutes of his story and place it on a different movie?
I mean, I'm fine with it either way. Could have worked either way.
It would have been a thrilling conclusion to the previous film, and then this movie could have, been slower to start, and then it picks up to an epic war that lasts 2.5 hours. But it's just a little jarring to start off this movie with something that's kind of unrelated to the rest of the film.
I mean, it's very related to the characters in the movie. Like, it makes perfect sense that they would go through this traumatic experience and then have to
imagine if at the beginning of Return of the Jedi they just killed Darth Vader, and then for the rest of the movie they just kind of like wandered around the galaxy and then had a big fucking battle at the end.
Wait, what are you talking about wandering around? There was a lot of shit happening in this movie. You can't say they're wandering about. Come on.
It's literally just them wandering around. What is it, Lake Town or whatever that like castle kind of place is, and then Erebor, and then eventually there's a big battle.
Rich, I think you're just being too kind on the movie because they're actually just twiddling their thumbs and deciding whether or not they'll go to the castle until they actually do, and they're interrupted by orcs. And it took them 1 hour 33 minutes for what's his face to go, Greed am bad. What the fuck is that guy's name again? Oh my god. Yeah, Thorin Oakenshield. Yeah, thank you.
I can't believe you don't know all the dwarves' names.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to do that.
Go ahead.
That was if this is Florian's favorite movie. I have 2 questions for him.
Yeah.
Number 1, can you name all of the dwarves?
You walked into that one.
If you look it up, I will never fucking leave this.
He's Googling it right now.
You'll never know peace.
He's typing it right now.
I'm not typing. Look,
I
think I can probably name 8. Let's see. Ori, Dori, Nori, Bombor, Bofer, Biffer, Killy,
There's another one that sounds exactly like that, Florian.
I mean, honestly, this is pointless because we're not even checking if he's right. He could be making shit up.
Oh, Image knows.
There's 13 in all.
How many did I get so far?
You got 7.
You got Kiki, Miki,
that was
Siki,
more
and
than
Diki.
7.
I was counting them out on my fucking fingers.
Okay, there's Sorin, there's Balin, there's Dwalin. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, well,
so I guess
that's much better than probably 99% of the audience of this film. But here's my second question. This film is titled The Battle of the 5 Armies. I want you to name the 5 armies.
Oh, well, that's easy. Well, I actually did look that up, but it's the men from Lake Down. It's the elves, the dwarves, and then there's 2 armies of orcs.
So that's
what
4
are 2 armies of orcs?
That's 4.
There's 2 armies. Now it's specifically in the books. I don't know why he decided. It's like, oh yeah, there's 2 armies of orcs. Why? It's like they're fighting the army of orcs, and then one guy goes, "Hey guys, there's another army of orcs." that's literally in this movie.
Can that not just be a branch of the other orc army?
I mean, they come from different places, but yeah, I mean, it's. I think Tolkien really should have named it the Battle of the 4 Armies. Honestly,
well, he actually named it the Hobbit.
I mean, but he named the Battle of the 5 Armies.
Oh, okay. I haven't read the book.
According to this, wolves were an entire army of their own.
What?
I did not get that from the movie. I thought I mean
that's not what. That's not what comes up when I look it up. Really, wolves? Is that in the original? Damn. Okay, yeah. Maybe Peter Jackson fucked it up. Guess you should have gone with wolves.
So began a battle that none had expected, and it was called the Battle of 5 Armies, and it was very terrible. Upon one side were the goblins and the wild wolves, and upon the other were elves and men and dwarves.
That's directly from the book.
Can I just say, I think the quote of the episode is Florian saying, maybe Peter Jackson fucked it up.
just that, if he
Just
actually
that.
changed the armies. But I mean, if he says right there, it's the goblins and the wolves. I mean, I guess they had goblins as a lot in that other army, but they had more bats. I don't know. I guess bats are cool. Works for me.
The bats are bred for one purpose. What was that purpose, Florian?
I think it might be war.
War!
Might be war. They might have been
they
bred for battle, even.
They really do that in this movie a lot. They do the dramatic pause and they go,
Yeah. Word. Yeah.
You guys don't understand how big it is. This place has been at peace for a while, and now suddenly there's a war. Okay, it's pretty impactful on the people. All right. Sorry, it's such a meme to you guys.
So,
okay.
Florian, who is your favorite character in this movie?
I mean, probably Thorin.
Because there kind of isn't a main character.
I like
the main character
Bilbo.
would be Bilbo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm big into
Ostensibly,
Martin Freeman.
Bilbo should be the main character, but he's like kind of just running around through most of it. And also, in the book, Bilbo is knocked out and does not take part in the battle at all. In fact, the Hobbit movie just completely skips the battle.
So this is some
in
real
the book.
George R.R.
the book,
Martin
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
He doesn't
this
know how
is
to write a
entirely
battle.
made up by Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets knocked out in this too, but only very briefly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, in the book he misses everything.
Yeah, I know. It's probably a
Somebody
poor
else fills
choice
him in.
my opinion. Just him missing everything. But I think Bilbo was pretty central to all of the events. I don't know what you mean.
I mean, the only thing of note that he does in the movie is steal the Arkenstone and give it to Bard. And then, what does he do otherwise?
Well, he's in
gets
the
knocked out.
battle. Like he warns Thorin that there's another army of orcs. And
I mean, he would have known. He would have figured it out. The army would have come.
Oh, you think warnings are pointless? Huh? Okay, cool. I guess
No,
that
because
would've been nice.
but by the time that Bilbo reaches them, the orc with the hook hand goes, "Guess what, motherfucker?" And then he stabs his nephew, and it's
No,
it's like,
they were walking
get-
in a trap, but then they stopped walking into that trap, and then he should have already got one of them.
It's like it's contemporaneous, so it would have happened anyway.
No, they would have had more of a trap there. They would have waited for all the dwarves to go in there and get killed.
I must misremember or you're wrong because anyway.
This movie
yeah.
several times does shit that makes me incredibly angry, and it's something that happens in Lord of the Rings like once, which is that like at one point Wormtongue is like, there is no such army, when Saruman is like being like, we've got this great army, and he's like, there is no such army, and he's like, it's right outside, and there's a huge army right outside, and it's just like, you would know that there were like thousands of people just standing around
No,
outside.
they were underground. You don't get it. We've been shown that they've been breeding underground. They weren't out there before.
But then in this movie,
it's a beautiful scene. How dare you? I love how he just sheds one evil tear when he sees just the vastness of this orc army. It's beautiful. I can't believe that you.
No, but then in this movie, like there's a bunch of them streaming out of these giant holes that these giant worms have dug or something, and I don't understand that. I don't think that's from the book at all. I don't understand what the fuck is happening there. And like, what's his name has just been standing on top of this fucking mountaintop
Thorin?
or cliff or no. The
evil guy.
Azog. Yeah, Azog has just been kind of like standing there for God knows how long with this giant mechanism that like directs them where to go. How did no one tell that was happening? How did nobody spot that like this guy was like climbing this mountain and like building this giant apparatus?
I mean, he might have had it out of sight. What do you mean? Like, they
It was
were pretty
clear.
busy.
It was right there.
They were pretty fucking busy, man. They were fighting a war.
I don't know,
Nobody was
guys.
looking there at
Is there a better way we can frame this discussion? Because I feel like, as a viewer, it might be boring for us to like try to nitpick how this movie just doesn't make any sense. Is there enough story in this 3-hour movie to even justify any of it?
No.
I mean, you guys.
Did anyone here watch the extended edition? 'Cause
I-
I'm not sure.
I did.
I intended
I did.
to, but I could not find it online.
Oh no!
I watched just the normal theatrical release.
Why?
I couldn't find it. What the fuck do you want from me?
Was it like 2 hours long? How long was it? Because
It was close
let
to
me
3.
oh wow,
it was like-
okay, well,
Maybe I did watch the extended. This shit was long
but
as
the version I
fuck.
watched
Okay,
was like
it's really simple. Have you seen the scene where the elves fire upon the dwarves, and then the dwarves shoot a giant mechanism that destroys all the arrows?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
that was
Yeah,
one of
you
the
see the
best
extended
scenes.
version.
I know.
Really? They cut that out? That was awesome.
They cut that out. I know. I'm like understanding why people wouldn't like it if that scene's not there. That
What
would-
the fuck?
that part was actually pretty fucking badass. Like,
Yeah.
occasionally
that's
there's some battle
reason
moments where
why
I'm
I
just
want
like,
the
okay, I
extended
have to give
edition,
it
yeah.
up. I have to give it up. That's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, that's the best.
I took notes and wrote down all my favorite parts of the movie. Should I just go through those?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
At one point, Thorin is walking around alone and just whispering the word gold to himself over and over again.
Monkey, do you recognize this situation from any kind of historical precedent? A like group that has been driven from their homes and they really want their gold back and
Oh,
their
miss with
treasure.
those politics.
And-
Come on.
They're desperately trying to get back to their homeland. Does that remind you of anything?
Are you talking about the plot of Russian Doll Season 2 on Netflix?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely
No, but what are you
a
talking
thing in
about?
there. Oh, the Jewish people.
Oh,
wants to get-
I forgot Average was anti-Semitic.
Jerusalem.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any other good scenes I wrote down?
Well, I think they should be flattered to be portrayed that way, but whatever.
Did you guys catch it? It's like a 5-second thing, but there's like a giant, and he has a rock helmet, and he headbutts the
Yes.
wall. That was
Hell,
fucking
it's
One of the
awesome.
stupidest things I have ever seen in my life. He immediately butts the fucking wall. The wall crumbles, and he just lies there, probably dead.
Yeah, he gave himself brain damage to break the wall down.
Worms, though. There's no reason for that.
He wanted to
It
headbutt it
worked.
with his rock helmet.
Look, you may say it might be more efficient to use a club rather than your head, but sometimes you gotta use your head, okay?
I mean, I thought it was funny as fuck, to be fair.
The
I
only
think-
way that would be funny to me is if they showed you him like working it out the entire time, is like him like figuring out the helmet, how it would work throughout the movie, and then it's his big moment. He steps up, he lowers the wall, and then fucking dies. And then they have a
Yes,
funeral
that
for him
could
at
be
the end.
funny.
Post-credit scene, it's the Giant's funeral.
Yeah.
I really like how they have catapults on the back of orcs. Like that's so cool to me. Okay, I know it's probably like stupid because they could just throw the rocks. Like they literally have arms that would have as much strength as those
Yeah,
catapults.
they're living catapults already.
But they're just so cool. Okay, I love how Sauron just completely had no control over this, and it's just Azog putting the dumbest fucking weapons into this battle and just rolling with it. Okay, I just love how stupid the battles are, and it's just so good.
You
I'm
enjoy that
sorry.
it's bad, is weird. Because
Well,
to me, it's just like a
I-
CGI schlock fest of just creatures and monsters
Mm-hmm.
attacking each other for 2 hours straight.
Well, I enjoy that it's silly. I don't think it's bad.
Well, here's
There's such. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Here's my final scene I wanted to talk about, and I want to see if Florian can cope and see his way out of this one. There's a 10-foot tall orc with full body armor. Bilbo gets a rock. Bilbo's like 3 feet tall. This rock's probably 3 inches wide in the palm of his hand. He throws the rock at the 10-foot tall orc monster covered in armor, and it kills it.
Well, I think he probably passes out, but he's actually not in full armor. He doesn't have a helmet, and he hits him on the head. So
With a
that checks
tiny
out.
little fucking rock.
Look, I'm sorry, but it's
You should be
canonically-
sorry.
It's canonically established that Bilbo is good at sports. Okay, he's won he's won championships.
Is it?
Where he's been tossing conkers. Okay, like.
Who does he play sports with? Everybody in Hobbiton hates him. They steal all of his shit, and the movie ends with him like bitter and alone for the rest of his life.
Well, that's when he was young. I guess they just got bitter when he inherited all that money and then refused to die, because of the ring.
The essential problem of this movie to me is that all the battle stuff essentially are cartoon logic of just the craziest physics shit you've ever seen, the craziest
like
battle
Legolas,
shit you've
like
ever seen.
jumping off of rocks that are falling in midair. Would that actually
Defying
work?
gravity.
Would that
Yes,
work?
Yeah.
No, elves are canonically light as a feather, okay? We see in Lord of the Rings that he's walking on snow when all the other people are wading through it. He can walk on fucking snow. They are so light, it would work. I'm sorry.
Well, I want to see
But
Mythbusters
those rocks
tackle
were
this.
falling at the rock speed, Florian. He can't counteract the speed at which other things fall.
Sure, he just pushes off. What are you talking about? Like, you can push something down.
He can't slow down time.
I mean, I'm
Time
fine
moves
with
at a
this.
consistent solid.
I'm kind of fine with this shit being like a live-action cartoon, Rich, so I'm not going to knock that too much.
No, but here's the thing. If it was all cartoon, fine. I don't care. But then the other 40% of the movie wants you to take it deathly seriously. It wants you to consider Thorin's, like, wrestling over his, like, greed or
He
whatever.
wants his
to be
magic
incredibly
rock so
interesting, and
bad.
It's not. It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
And
Well, I really like it, obviously.
it's trying to play everything like it's a Lord of the Rings like epic adventure, and it's not. It should just be a cartoon. It should just be like a kid's thing.
Well, the thing is that you guys keep missing is that Thorin did nothing fucking wrong, okay? The fucking elves imprisoned him falsely, and the people in Lake Down, they almost attacked him too, okay? He doesn't owe them a goddamn thing, and they don't need to team up with the elves if they want his money, okay? Fuck him. He did nothing wrong, and he was buying time so that the dwarf army would get there, and that was fucking perfect. And there's no reason why the king would have to rush out and fight at the head of the army, okay? He does anyways, and he dies for it. Okay, fine. He chose to go a hero's death, but he did nothing wrong. Like, it was just perfect.
I mean, yeah, I'm Team Thorin as well, Florian. You don't have to convince me. He's one of the
Hell
only
yeah.
good characters in this fucking movie.
Well, I don't know how you can say that. All the dwarfs are pretty awesome.
Is Gandalf always a huge cuck? Like the opening of the movie, he's like just hanging out in a fucking metal cage. Like, dude, you got magic, right? Surely you could do something.
Well, I don't
I think
know.
they said that land drains his energy away, but still.
Well, he's actually also fairly weak still in this movie. I don't know why he gets so much stronger in The Lord of the Rings, but he does get the staff from Radagast. I don't know if that helps. And even in Lord of the Rings, he's not using magic that often. Like, he can deflect like one fireball, and then he doesn't have like crazy amounts of magic. He survives a lot. I'm surprised that orc was able to torture him, but I guess he was caught by all of the orcs, so they probably tortured him for a while, so checks
Poor
out to me.
Is there anything else in this movie worth even saying out loud?
There's one of the giant trolls or whatever has like no limbs. It just has like flails on its arms and legs, and it somehow like walks along like that. And I just don't think that's feasible.
Oh my god!
No,
Erich.
I think it's not
What?
even legs, bro. It's like stumps.
Yeah.
They become stumps.
Why
And
are
then-
all your criticisms so bad, Erich? That fucking
Like-
orc, that troll is hilarious. He doesn't have eyes, and he gets guided by this little orc on his back. It's amazing.
Erich, can you tell me what was the page count of the original Lord of the Rings books?
I mean, each one was about 300 pages if I had to
Oh,
guess.
really? They're that short?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. How long was The Hobbit?
Probably like 150 to 170
Yeah,
pages.
it's pretty short.
That's a strange one to adapt into 3 films.
Well, they did add a lot of lore, I assume, in Lord of the
Hobbit.
Rings later, right?
Page count.
To The Hobbit.
The Hobbit movies were supposed to be 2 movies originally, and then Warner Brothers was incredibly greedy and asked Peter Jackson if he could make 3 movies out of it. So he's like, okay, sure, we'll cut off the end of the second movie, make a huge battle even huger, and then make it its own movie.
Are you telling me
Yeah.
corporate greed affected the quality of a piece of art?
No way.
That's right.
Well, in my opinion,
For the
Warner Bros.
first
did
time
nothing wrong here, and it all worked out. But
Yeah,
okay.
Florian says the more
No,
the
because-
merrier.
I agree with Erich. I think Mumkey also agrees to this, right? You don't find the smog scene in the beginning very, very well put in the third movie. It shouldn't be here, right?
I mean, I always watch it end to end, so it really doesn't matter to me.
Did you watch all three in preparation for this podcast?
I did watch
them. You fucking madman.
Oh my god.
I would have watched them again anyway. So I used to watch them like every year, and it's been a few years.
What the fuck? There's a moment in the second movie where they've made this giant golden statue that Smaug like goes up to and looks at and is like coveting, and then it explodes, and it's one of the worst looking effects that I've ever seen. The gold explodes, and I know the molten gold.
Molten would look like though.
I know molten gold is hard to do because it's so unreal looking anyway. But like the CGI nature of it just makes it look even worse. Okay, the thing I wanted to say about this movie, I think it looks awful. They do this terrible compositing effect on it to make everything look like it's like sun-kissed and like bright, and it just looks awful. Every single scene, single shot looks terrible.
Did they not have enough time to do, like, they have like 10 hours of like high effects and CGI they had to produce in probably like 2 years?
I mean, a lot of this was done on green screens. A lot of this was done like in completely artificial environments. There's a great every single behind the scenes of this movie is just Peter Jackson looking like he has no idea what the fuck he's doing, trying to come up with shit like off the top of his head. There's a scene where it's Ian McKellen in an entirely green screen room, and he starts crying. He starts breaking down crying because he didn't consider that his life as an actor would like bring this to him as something he had to do.
Now, how did they film the different sized people effect in Lord of the Rings? Are you telling me he did not have to do green screen for that movie?
I don't think they did. I think it was
just like perspective shit.
Well, they definitely used green screen. That's a fact. Like they used like the main things would be like the same thing. Like you'd have the table, and then you got the big part of the table and the small part of the table, but like around it there would still be a lot of green screen.
Can I just say, Ian McKellen crying on the set of this movie is fucking pathetic and embarrassing. You're a fucking actor, be a professional. Like, this is what the scene calls for, to shoot it, you fucking old crybaby bitch. Get over it.
Is that really what happened? That's so weird.
Like, the art of acting has been reduced to, I have to pretend other people are in the room. Shut the fuck up.
Also, Christopher Lee
I'm surprised to have this take from you.
What a crybaby. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Just do it.
Yeah, he's getting paid to play pretend, which he's already doing.
Here's the thing. I think it's harder when you're an actor of his age and your entire life you've been doing things one way, and even these are the prequels to movies he did back in the like late 90s, early 2000s, and they did things like the correct way back then. So to suddenly be like, okay, here's you in an entirely green room, please emote for us as if you're right there. Like, I think it can be challenging when you're that old to like put yourself in that.
I don't even get that at all, because with the green screen, with the way they used to do it, where they had the table cut in half, like that wouldn't look real to you either. And he's supposed to look in a different.
But you're in a real set. You can look around and be like, yes, I am in that Hobbit place. I'm with other actors even. This was not him with other actors. This was him entirely alone.
At the actors, you have to look at a different place in the room, because otherwise you'd be looking off, because they're not where they're supposed to be, because they're shrunken. I mean, I really don't understand how that's like, oh, that's so authentic. Like, bitch, you're not even looking the right way. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Whatever. We're reviewing the first Hobbit movie, basically. Like, we ran out of shit to say about this one.
I think actually. Also, Christopher Lee looks like he's on the edge of death.
Wasn't he quite literally?
Yeah, basically, he died the next year, I think. He looks like he's about to keel over. He's about to keel over every single scene he's in. He's like, and part of that might be they've made him up to look like he's more sickly or more like Saruman-y, but like he just like, oh god. Between that and then the like leader of the Iron Hill Dwarves is Billy Connolly, and Billy Connolly has very, very bad Parkinson's disease, I believe, and he literally like shakes uncontrollably. So his character in this is just Dane. his character in this is just a CGI dwarf. Maybe they like took scans of his face or something.
Why did they need him? They could have just picked anyone, right?
They really wanted his voice though. Like his voice is so like specific and so like memorable. Like, and it is just a CGI dwarf running around with Billy Connolly's voice. It's pretty distasteful to me.
I mean, I think he's turned out pretty cool, but okay.
Florian, what is the name of the character with the unibrow who was trying to steal everybody's money? Because he's my other favorite character.
Alfred, the one with who put on the dress. Yeah. You would have missed out on that great scene if you had seen the theatrical cut.
Oh, that was only extended then.
Yeah, the way he gets launched out of the catapult because of the coin.
Yeah, I'd say if I'm watching this, if watching this movie is hell, one of the few saving graces is that character's wacky shenanigans.
The beginning of this movie is like
he was getting hate.
Alfred is like a principal character in the first half of this movie. Like he is one of the like main threads you're following. Is that anytime Bard shows up, Alfred is like right behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so crazy in the Desolation of Smog, where he's like, "These fish are illegal," and he just pours them into the sea. Man, what a great character! You remember that scene?
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it to prepare for this movie. So
Weekend, I have a proposition for you.
How about it, sir?
So as we all remember the deep lore, I rightfully won the poll with my choice of The Room, and Florian was upset. He said, "No, we have to watch The Hobbit. It's only fair. You cheated the poll, blah, 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 blah." So then the three of us put it to a vote, and the two of you voted against me, saying, "No, we're going to do The Hobbit. It's what's right." I'm proposing a new vote. I say Florian is not allowed to put Hobbit movies on the People's Choice poll ever again.
I was actually not going to. Anyways.
I vote aye.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you'll just have to remind me if I accidentally do, but I'm not planning to.
This is just my insurance policy against a future suicide, okay? So now that that's taken care of, are we done with The Hobbit? Can we say whether or not it's Kino?
Well, we definitely still have to talk about something that bothers Erich greatly, which is the love affair between the dwarf and the elf, right?
Yeah,
it's barely in here. It's mostly in the.
Erich hates interracial relationships. That shouldn't be a shock.
True.
I actually do.
Wait,
I actually do in Hobbit movies.
Yeah, Miles and Gwen had him fuming.
Wait. I have a question, Erich. Is this love? Did you read the Hobbit movie, the book?
Yeah.
So was this even in the book?
No,
it's not in the book.
Florian is entirely made up for this movie.
Oh, they made it up. Why?
See, Erich,
it's fan fiction. In the middle of this Hobbit movie, there's fan fiction that's like, oh yeah, this elf and dwarf are totally going to get together, and it's going to provide Legolas with inspiration so he can eventually fall in love with Gimli.
Yeah, Erich is just so mad. It's just so mad that they added one woman into the movie. It's
fucking fan fiction. I don't mind. Add as many women as you want. Don't fucking make that the fucking like bedrock with which Legolas then makes his fucking relationships on. It's so dumb.
Man, I really hope that they're gonna make more with Toriel. It would be so good if this new movie that Peter Jackson is making, if Toriel is like the main character, that would be the best.
Wait, what new movie?
Well, supposedly they're talking about a new Lord of the Rings movie with Peter Jackson. I guess it's not really confirmed yet, but
that can't be true.
It would be just Lord of the Rings. I don't think it would be.
Oh, they're gonna remake. Oh, they're gonna remake it.
I did see that they're remaking the Lord of the Rings movies.
Why would they need to remake the movie? What?
Because they want to hold on to the rights.
But they could just make another movie in the universe.
Or could they not just make it into a TV show to stretch it out?
So there's different rights. There's the TV show rights. There's also like the other shit rights, which means there's an animated Lord of the Rings out in the next couple years. And then there's also a but it's also just profit. It's just like we want to make as much money with this rights that we hold as possible.
But it's only been like 20 years. Are you telling me we're going to get a new trilogy every 20 years?
It's been 20 years and those movies are classics. Like those
movies have no flaws as far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
What the fuck? It's like Fantastic Four bullshit. Like, we're gonna make a movie and not even release it just to keep the fucking rights.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm just hoping it'll take part in a different storyline in the Lord of the Rings. I mean, that would be possible, right? Wise.
It's the same reason why there's going to be a Harry Potter TV show. It's the rights holders looking at their benefits, looking at the things that they own, and being like, how can we make more money off of this?
Yeah, but Harry Potter wasn't really done that well. They can definitely do that one again.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that one, but I also hate trans people.
So it sounds like a win-win.
What'd you say, Florian?
Wait.
Who's gonna be trans?
No, just, people are gonna boycott it because of J.K. Rowling, so I was just joking.
Oh, fuck. I thought they're gonna add trans wizards,
I mean, I guarantee they're gonna put trans characters in it.
Oh,
Well, there
guys,
you
do
go.
you think Aragorn will be black here, like in the Magic the Gathering cards in the remake?
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
Dude, yeah, Lord of the Rings is what, like some of the whitest movies ever made? We'll be lucky if it's 10% white in the new movie. You kidding me?
I mean, there's plenty of white people in the series that they made.
Not in the next one.
Not in this
Sorry.
one. Yeah.
Saruman should be the only white character because his name is Saruman the White.
Not even Gandalf the White?
No.
Let's just go full on Gandalf the Black.
I guess he just becomes white. Oh god, it's gonna be
Just
be like
becomes
that.
one.
gonna be like that scene where he's holding an AK-47. Oh no.
So we all agree the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies is pure Kino. 5 stars for each of the armies in the film.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
and we never have to talk about the Hobbit ever again. This running theme of me being mad at Florian for liking this, we can just let it go.
Yeah, you can never taunt me with it again, it'll be perfect.
Should we...
I want
ahead.
to talk about one more thing in this movie, and when I saw it in the movies, it's a moment that made my mind break. And you know how when you see something super scary, your brain pumps adrenaline into your body so you can run faster.
Like my bank account statement?
Yeah. So the moment is when Azog is underneath this ice, and he's underneath the ice, and they watch him go, and then he suddenly bursts out from the ice and attacks them. And I don't know why, but that was the moment my brain was we need to get the fuck out of here. We need to be able to run.
The fight or flight was activated.
Yeah, the fight or flight kicked in, and I was ready. I was the things I'm seeing in front of me are not real. It's time to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, this barely
just
feels
so
like
sad
a real
that Thorin
movie.
is dying.
This is more like a
Tragic.
proof of graphical effects more than a movie. And the effects are bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how everyone says that. I think it's just beautiful. I don't know.
It's not
just
beautiful. The fucking Battle of Helm's Deep in Two Towers is beautiful.
I mean, that's just pretty black altogether. How is that so beautiful?
Wow, he's legitimately arguing that the Hobbit movies look better than the Lord of the Rings movies now.
I mean, Helm's Deep is just dark, isn't it? You're really saying that looks excessively good?
This movie looks like
it's
sludge.
a nice castle, of course. Oh,
It looks like
bullshit,
sludge. It looks like
sludge.
nothing is fucking happening. in
When
front
you're
of my
dealing with
eyes.
CGI, it's probably better to be a little more dark than to be so brightly lit like this movie is.
Yeah, I mean that probably might have helped, but I just really like how colorful it is. How bright it is. I guess the Desolation of Smaug was more colorful. This one's a little darker, but I really like the bright lights. I don't know.
I mean, I wish we would have watched either of the other Hobbit movies, because I have at least fond memories of a few scenes. I like everything with Bilbo talking to Smaug. I like the first one when he's running and he says, I'm going on an adventure. I like that part.
Oh yeah.
But there's nothing in this movie other than the opening scene, which I like when the guy's son is, being the sturdiness for the arrow or whatever. I thought that was a pretty sweet moment. But that shouldn't have even been in this movie.
I don't know. I guess I'm just very nerdy, but I really enjoy the diplomacy of how they really want those gems. Okay. I don't know. Just really, and we never see elves and dwarves fight, and we finally see them, and it was glorious. And I think it made sense that there would be a lot of build up because they they really didn't want to fight, but then they had to fight, you know.
Okay, should we move on to choosing films for the next People's Choice poll? And I'll ask if Florian and Weekend, should we let Erich put something on the list?
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
Really? We're gonna let him torture us and then not even show up for the review?
Is the point of this to torture? The point of this is to put you guys into pain?
Well, so sometimes we have a different theme. So one time we all picked an obscure movie, you know, and I had an idea for a theme this time, but really you guys can always pick whatever you want.
Well, I think we should go with really good movies for a theme this time.
All right.
Well, I don't agree with that. My idea was choosing famous movies that we have not seen. I wanted to put a movie on that I know I have not seen before. And also, on the subject of, I guess I'll go first here, because I was also thinking, you know, we watched the third movie in a trilogy, and it's considered the worst of the three. What are some other trilogies out there where the third movie is considered the worst? And something that popped into my mind that I have not seen before is Shrek 3. That's my choice for the People's Choice poll.
Well, that's probably gonna win, but that one's not actually that bad.
Well, I don't know.
Shrek 3 is not that good.
I'm excited to
What's so
hopefully
good?
find out.
Shrek 3 is not good.
Huh, wait, which one is that?
Oh, Weekend, you have a movie.
I did not watch Parasite yet, so
Oh no.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
so that's I did not. So I'm like, I have this weird thing where if it's popular, I'm suspicious of it. Like when Squid Games came out, it's like, is it really that good? Is it? So I dodged that.
Sounds like you're just skipping anything with Asian people in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know I live and breathe that shit.
So you're choosing the anime Parasite the Maxim.
Oh, the Korean movie, the Parasite the movie.
Oh, right.
Where
I just rewatched that about a month ago, and I mean, it's not a 5-star movie for sure, but it's a very good movie.
All right. So that's
it's no Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies.
Oh, damn.
Erich, what would you like to put on the poll?
I'm gonna do all three, which is like a movie I've never seen, a third in a trilogy, which it's more than a trilogy, but still. And then apparently a pretty good movie is the third Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hell yeah, that one's always fun, I assume.
From the original run or from these new movies?
The original run, the older movies.
No, not the original.
Is it just called Planet of the Apes 3?
No, let me look at what it's called. Hold on.
And while he's looking that up, Florian, did you have a choice?
God, I think I've seen like most of the good famous movies. Maybe you should give me some ideas for which
The
ones
movie
I've not
is Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Wow.
Florian, you don't have to choose something you haven't seen. That was just my gimmick going into this.
All right. Well. Yeah. Actually, perfect. I don't think I've seen like The Godfather, and that's also a trilogy.
So
I
The
guess
Godfather Part 3 is your choice.
Yes, it is.
Holy shit! I have.
Oh, no.
I've never seen The Godfather 3. I've seen the first two.
Well, I've never seen any of them, so I think it'd be funny if I only saw the third one.
I think I always watching them, and then I'm just like, I could be watching Sopranos. That would be more fun.
Yes.
Like every time.
Francis Ford Coppola just recently re-edited the movie, so should we watch the re-edited version or the
Of the third one?
Yeah, of the third one.
I guess
Yeah, let's do
maybe
that.
half and half, and then we can compare and contrast. So are the People's Choice poll that you'll find in your YouTube community tab or whatever the fuck coming soon? Shrek 3, Parasite, Escape from the Planet of the Apes,
yeah.
and The Godfather Part 3. What do you guys think people will vote for?
Shrek 3.
I think Shrek, yeah.
Yeah, they probably will vote for Shrek.
Shrek or Godfather, I think. Yeah.
I
It's a
think
wild list, though.
I think they might. I think they might go for the apes, if anything.
there's a lot of people who are like Florian Evangelicals at this point, and I think they'll vote for whatever he has to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they just did that to piss you off that time, you know?
No, every single podcast that you're not in, I get several comments saying no Florian, no watch, and they have like 12 upvotes.
Wow.
Holy shit.
But then when you're in an episode, there's also, oh, I heard Florian, I clicked off, and it also has 12 upvotes. So I'm fucked either way. I can't make everybody happy.
Well, yeah, guess I ruin everything.
No, I mean, well, you make half the people happy, half the people
You drive
pissed.
engagement, Florian.
Yeah.
Love
I
it
guess
or
I
hate it.
really need to find a way to capitalize on this aspect of my personality.
Maybe you should make a whole YouTube channel like anti-reviews or something, where you can just dive into your hateful nature.
Yeah, I already did the Spider-Verse one, so we should get ready to review that soon. And watch my Spider-Verse video.
Yeah, we should probably wait till that's out on Blu-ray, because I'm not going back to the theater to see that again, and I barely remember most of the movie.
Oh no, but I already made the video.
I'm sure it'll be out on digital soon, and then it'll be
probably gonna be
better
a
to
while.
do our review once everybody can watch it at home anyway.
It's still
Yeah,
kicking
but-
ass in theaters, so it's probably not
Yeah.
going to be on digital for a bit.
There is a digital release though, but Sony has this weird sponsor with a gambling website, so I would recommend that version.
I mean, the version's probably not that bad, you know? It might give it a chance.
Yeah. Well, is that another Kino in the books, folks? You guys have anything you want to plug?
I'm working on a Flash video, so watch out for that. Just the ending. I'm just gonna talk about the ending.
Did we all kind of like the Flash in here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, Weekend
really?
is pretty negative on it, actually.
Yeah,
Weekend, you're negative?
I'm malding and
I thought you
seeking-
started positive. I thought you came out of the gate.
we covered
pretty-
this. I called him out
Yeah,
for
we
his
covered-
lies and
Yeah, he
hypocrisy.
Yeah, he called me out
Yes.
for farm liking. Is that?
Yeah,
the term?
yeah. He thinks it'll make him seem cool if he hates the awesome movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I embarrassed him in front of low-res Wonder Bread.
I'm still mouthing about it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
your life is over.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to your Flash video. Maybe I will see the film in a new perspective. I'll see the light, or I guess the darkness in this case. But Everich, I would say don't listen to our Flash review. Just skip to the part when we, instead of reviewing the movie, we review Ezra Miller's list of crimes. Because I set up a whole like karma scale, and I was like, oh, that one's not so bad. I'll give him 3 karma points, or I'll take some away. Like one of the accusations was that he told the KKK to commit suicide. I'm sorry, I don't think it's that bad. That might be a brave stance for me to
That sounds
take.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So
That gets
Ezra
him a
Miller.
hero point.
Yeah, he's a real hero in my book.
I mean,
Can you
he's
imagine if
definitely a
the
hero in
Flash
that
told
movie.
the KKK to commit suicide?
He was wearing his ring when he did it. So,
Yep, real life Flash.
Erich, what did you want to plug?
Yeah, I'll plug my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at TZARREVAN. Our box is Revan1138. Go ahead and check me out there.
And Florian, did you did a plug, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
Watch my Spider-Verse video.
that's right. Well, folks, we'll see you next month for, I assume, The Godfather 3.
It's probably Shrek.
I would love to get in on that because I've never seen that movie before.
Hey, if Everich wants to join up on the PCP.
Nobody has seen it. That's
The
perfect.
PCP is famous for having way too many people on, so we might as well
Hell
just
yeah.
have Erich join the show.
Fuck yes.
That's right.
Yep,
Eat it, Ben
four's definitely
Saint.
too many. Damn it.
Ben Taint, more like.
That's right. Ben
him.
Ben ain't good at keeping friends on his podcast. Anyway, bye everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.